This week in personal training, I want to ask you how the hell you're supposed to do a row and give a couple of quick updates about some things that happened at my gym this week. So today at work, a trainer said to a couple clients when doing a suspended row to pull their shoulder blades back and then row, which got me thinking, is that a good or bad cue? So I asked the trainer, hey, why do you ask the clients to pull their shoulder blades back before they row? And the answer was that when people pull their shoulder blades back and set their shoulder blades and then they pull, it gets their shoulders in a better position at the end of the row and keeps them out of this forward shoulder position, which I can agree with. And then after looking through some stuff online, I went back to a Connor Harris again video that or actually it was like a long Twitter post about what his thoughts were on how to row, and was addressed in that post. So what he says is that, well, what the post really talks about is three different things when it comes to horizontal rowing. Number one, it's probably a better idea to have your elbow closer to your body, which I can totally agree with. He also says that make sure that you get some reach, and it ends up giving you a better pull, which I can agree with. But then we get on the topic of, do you initiate the row with your scapula or do you initiate the row with your elbow? So what he says is to tell people to initiate with their elbow. So just feel like you're driving that elbow back into position, as opposed to starting with pulling back the scapula and then pulling into position. So his rationale is that there's a like scapular, glenohumeral scapular rhythm, and if you pull your scapula back, you're disrupting that rhythm, and you're not going to use your bigger muscles to get to through the pulling as much, because you're going to set them in place, and then you're going to use smaller muscles like rotator cuff muscles and things to do the row, which I don't know. So that's why I'm asking you, what do you think? How do you tell your clients to row? What cueing do you use and why? Is telling people to pull their scapula back before they row to get them in better position wrong? Is telling people to initiate with their elbow first better? Worse? Is this a stupid conversation? Is it just like, hey, pull it and make sure that you don't get into a bad position, and this is way overthought? I'd like to know your thoughts. Let me know. How the hell do you row? Here's a quick recap of my week as a personal trainer. A couple of cool things that happened. Number one, Sara B hit a PR on her trap bar deadlift. We had some big kettlebell fails and some successes. We have a 154 pound kettlebell, which we had some guys trying to clean that thing, and that was a good time. We hired a new trainer who was one of the guys who tried to clean the kettlebell. We signed a new fighter to our amateur fight team. And we went to the UFC Performance Institute for the, let me get this right this time, Certified Conditioning Coach certification by Joel Jamieson. And next week, that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give a little breakdown of what the workshop entailed, what I thought about it, and my biggest takeaways from Mike Robertson's talk on his R7 approach to writing programs.